Hi everyone, Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. I am calling today International Pajama Day. So if you're coming to the table in your pajamas, feel right at home. That's what I'm doing today. All right, we are playing in our altered books today. I did not put a focal point on this 2-page spread because the background takes a little while to create. We'll do the focal point in another video. So welcome back to another altered book. We just walked through the last one. We took a stroll through the last one. And now we are playing in another one. We put the pop-up in the new one, and now we've put this one in. It's got a window with mica and rivets and things like that. Very, very fun. So thank you to all of you that are making comments. Thank you to new subscribers. Much appreciated. I do want to tell you that Patreon is on fire. Exciting things going on there. I do have some new members for May. I'd like to give them a big shout out and a big thank you. There's Tiffany. I have them written down because there's so many. Tiffany, Nelda, Kimberly, Karen, Julie, Valerie, Lisa, Pat, Sandra, Diane, Sophia, Brittany, and Shelley. So thank you so much for joining me on Patreon. We are going to change things up June 1st into even more exciting stuff going on there. So yay, us. All right, chatty this morning, pajama day, coffee in hand. See you on the table. All right, we're back in the altered book. This is the brand new altered book where we have the pop-up, and I'm using that as a sturdy page for this. And then I did an add-on window with corrugated cardboard and a piece of mica. Very fun. Some rivets, some rust paste, some watercolor, acrylic, distress ink, distress oxide and distress ink, black soot and mermaid lagoon, some black tape, a little clip here, texture paste, stencil, Cuttlebug. Lots going on. So this is as far as we're going to go today. We'll work on a focal point in another video. So I'm sitting here with a cup of coffee, watching this video. Handsome hubby is napping while I started this video, but I just cannot wait. So this is the altered book with the pop-up and the pockets in it. So that's on the left-hand side. You can see the brads on the lower left side where the brackets came through. So I'm going to put some Mod Podge on that page, flip a page over, and then I'm going to add one more page for stability. So go ahead and build a sturdy page on one side. Doesn't matter whether it's on the left or the right. And then we're just going to start adding underpants to that sturdy page on the left-hand side. Just grabbing bits and pieces of this and that and creating some fun energy. That's basically what the underpants are used for, is creating energy and giving you time to bond. It also adds strength to the pages. Now, since I'm going to be adding something to the book, I do want to remember to remove some pages. So you go to the center of the signature where the threads are and remove a couple of pages depending on how thick your book is. So I took out 2 flat pieces or 4 pages from my book, creating a little bit more space for playfulness. Now glue a few pages together, creating a sturdy page on the right-hand side. After you get sturdy pages on the right-hand side, go ahead and cover those with some fun underpants too. Now after you get your underpants on both pages, I brought in a stencil. This one's a brick stencil, and my texture paste. My texture paste was pretty stiff, so I just added a little bit of gesso and Mod Podge to it, stirred it up pretty good, and it is nice and pliable again. So apply some texture paste through a stencil on both pages, and then let it dry. So while that was drying, I brought in corrugated cardboard and a Cuttlebug folder, and my Cuttlebug ran it through, and ta-da! Made a gorgeous corrugated piece, embossed, lovely. So I brought in some Distress ink, vintage photo, maybe twisted citron and wild honey. I put some wild honey on there. Look at that texture, it's just gorgeous. Now Mermaid Lagoon, and this is a Distress Oxide, which does have a different feel to it than the Distress ink. Just going to smudge some of that on there and smear it around with my fingers. And I'm going to give the back the same treatment. Mine did have packing tape on it, so I went ahead and removed the packing tape from the corrugated cardboard. It was just from a box. So I'm going to go ahead and add the honey, and then the Mermaid Lagoon, and smudge it around. I've decided to cut a window in this. So I actually placed it on my cutting mat, and then with an X-Acto blade I went ahead and cut out the window using a ruler to make my edge as straight as possible. Oh, and then there's those mica tiles. These are not very big, as you can see. It doesn't fit the whole window, and I'm okay with that. I am going to pop some holes in the mica and in the corrugated cardboard, one at a time, so that it doesn't buckle. So I'm going to pop a hole in it with my crocodile, and then I am going to install a rivet. So my rivets, I need a front and a back. Just going to pop that through that hole, place the back on the rivet, and give it a good pop. Now this is artist's choice. If you do not want to use rivets and you want to use eyelets, the eyelets will work as well. So you would just pop a hole with your crocodile, and then you would install an eyelet with your crocodile as well. And now we have the 3 rivets there. All right, now I'm supposed to be fixing dinner. Just got back from walking the dog. Handsome hubby is clearly up from his nap, so we can chat at last. So I have raw sienna watercolor paint right here. I like it really, really dense in the color, really saturated in the color, and not so saturated with the water, not so diluted with the water. A couple of things about that. If the watercolor is real wet, of course it will be more translucent, which is lovely. It's one of the fine characteristics of watercolor paints. But it's very, very hard on our books because the water settles in the pages and then in the creases here, and it does weaken our books. So we do need to stay aware of that and not use too much water. Okay, good morning. You're such troopers for hanging in there with me during nap hours and dog walks and all that. So I'm going to take a bit of cobalt teal, and this is an acrylic. So what I am hoping is that it will stay on top of the watercolor and the texture paste. So when we sand, we get some fun colors there. That is my intention. So I'm just going to paint both pages with that acrylic. And I'm going to let that dry. Now while that's drying, and what I should have really done with this is I should have taken the black soot Distress ink and went around all of the edges of this with the black soot before I put the mica on, but I did not. So that is just going to have to be okay. And what I want to do with these rivets is, and I don't have much left of this, but I'm going to see if I can rust those up a little bit. So I have rust on the back side of those rivets. I'll probably put some rust paste on the front side of those rivets as well. Okay, we are about dry. I'm bringing in, this is a 60 grit sandpaper, so it's really nice and coarse. So I'm going to bring this in and knock that back down. All right, that's all nice and sanded. We were able to see some of the yellow paint. It did discolor the white texture paste somewhat, and that's what we were looking for. I'm going to bring that black soot distress ink back in. Beautiful backgrounds. And because I like a darker edge, I am going to go ahead and stabilo this cardboard frame that we have made out of corrugated cardboard. Now this is artist's choice if you want to glue this or tape this into the center so it flips from either side, or if you would like to tape it on the side so that it opens this way. Totally artist's choice. I am going to tape it on this side. I'll be using black masking tape. The black masking tape sticks better than the tan. So what I'm going to do first is put the tape on the back of this. This is our sturdy page. And then lay this page on here, leaving a little bit of wiggle room there so that the page can move back and forth. And I'm going to lay a piece of tape down that center. Snipping off the excess. Bringing in the Mermaid Lagoon and just touching up the tape a little bit with that. I don't mind the black tape there at all. And I'll do the same to this side. Now I have these fun, they're like a paper clip. I'm just going to put that at the top here. This will be like a handle to open the page. Alright, so this is as far as we're going to go today. I don't have focal points specifically picked out for this page, so I need to work on that. But this is enough to keep you busy for today, I'm thinking. Alright, go create, go play, go have fun.